everybody, I'm here with an update about Representative Virginia Foxx. I don't know if you heard, but Indivisible High Country and Indivisible Neers, the student chapter of Indivisible at App State, held a protest this weekend because the Republicans had a fundraiser, a high-end fundraiser at App State. So we organized a protest called Fed Up with the GOP. And the Appalachian newspaper, the student newspaper, did a really great story on it. It's called Watauga Republicans Host Lincoln Reagan Dinner, Draw Counter-Protesters. What's really interesting about this story is that the first two paragraphs have two sentences that describe their fundraiser, but the next 10 sentences and 8 paragraphs describe our protest. And there are quotes in there by Diane Nyland, Matthew Felipe, and Mary Irish that really get to the heart of why we're fed up with the GOP. And Diane said, they need to know that not everybody in the area is for what the GOP is for, and we are concerned about issues like poverty and the well-being of people and health care. Matthew went on to say, and he had a very powerful quote, he says, Felipe explained many students have seen or experienced some sort of political violence. It needs to stop, which is why we are out here today, because we're the ones who are going to make it stop. Jim Jordan is going to be here, and so we came out to protest him and to protest everything that's going on with Mr. Trump, said community member Mary Irish. We have to be out and we have to be loud. I agree. So then the story goes on to list the notable attendees, the VIPs in attendance. And here's where it gets interesting, because the next 5 sentences are all about Foxx. Virginia Foxx, North Carolina's congresswoman from the 5th district, was unable to attend the event, although she provided a video greeting for attendees. Y'all, Representative Foxx did not show up at a Republican fundraiser to have conversations and dialogue with her fellow Republicans. She sent a video greeting. The thing about a video greeting is you can't have a conversation with it. You can't ask questions. You can't have a back and forth. So the bottom line is, not only does she not show up for town halls, not only does she not answer her door and speak with her constituents, she doesn't even show up to talk with Republicans. Like, that's kind of really disrespectful, isn't it? And so apparently the reporters at the Appalachian must have asked some people about that. And they also reminded readers that Foxx has faced criticism for her opponents for being disconnected with her home district and not hosting a town hall in over 15 years. So a member of the Watauga County Republican Women's Club commented and disagreed with this sentiment. I want to be sure and include the Republicans' viewpoint in this. So this Republican woman said, quote, she knows her people well enough. She shows up at every event we have. Now, this person said this at an event in which Representative Foxx didn't show up. Like, I mean, that's, like, how disconnected from reality do you have to be to say to a reporter, she shows up at all of our events, when she wasn't there at that one? But it gets worse. This Republican, Watauga County Republican Women's Club member went on to say, if people have a problem with her, her office is always open. Another untruth. We've shared many videos of constituents knocking on Representative Foxx's Boone office door and asking to speak with her. And neither her nor the staff even have the courtesy to open the door and have a conversation. There's a Ring doorbell camera at her office door. They won't even talk to constituents through the doorbell camera. It's gotten so bad that when members of mainstream Christian clergy, Baptist, Presbyterian, and Methodist ministers went to Representative Virginia Foxx's office to speak with her on Moral Monday, they wouldn't answer the door. They wouldn't speak. She wasn't there. They had arranged ahead of time and asked for a meeting with her. She didn't even show up. Her staff wouldn't even talk to them through the Ring doorbell camera. But in the meantime, we have this Republican Watauga County Women's Club person saying that if people have a problem with her, her office door is always open. A blatant untruth. The office door is always locked, and we've shown countless number of times in videotapes where they won't open the door, they won't talk to constituents. So my question is, why are local Watauga Republicans defending her? Like, why are they trying to create a false narrative that she shows up for all their events and her office door is always open? Like, we know better. We've tried to go and talk to her. We've posted the videos. It's just not true, respectfully. And then it goes on in these 5 sentences in the middle of this story. Apparently, the reporter also asked Senator Heiss about this, Ralph Heiss, and Senator Ralph Heiss said, quote, "She doesn't hide in the corner," end quote. "If she has to pour coffee in every cup in the district, she will," end quote. Let me read that last part again to you. Quote, "If she has to pour coffee in every cup in the district, she will," end quote. Well, I personally am delighted at this news from Senator Heiss because coffee's gotten really, really, really expensive. It's at like its highest level ever, thanks to the tariffs and the trade wars by Trump. So maybe she's going to save us a whole lot of money, because now it appears that Senator Heiss is her agent, her booking agent, and he's going to book her, and he's relegated her now to pouring coffee in every cup in the district. Okay, so my advice to you is call Senator Heiss and say, "Senator Heiss, you promised in the Appalachian that Representative Foxx would pour coffee in every cup in the district. Coffee's getting real expensive. I would like to book Representative Foxx to come pour my coffee for me. When can I get on the calendar?" The other thing that's really interesting about Senator Heiss's comment is that's kind of a dismissive thing to say. He's a junior North Carolina senator. She's a 20-year veteran of Congress and in the upper echelons of the national Republican leadership. But he's going to relegate her to pouring coffee. Wow. Holy cow, y'all. I just, somehow, I'm not sure he was authorized to say that on her behalf. But y'all call Senator Heiss and do ask him, because coffee's really, really expensive. Anyway, so that's the front and back of the Appalachian article. And then finally, after the Watauga Republicans having to defend her absence and make up tall tales and make the outlandish claim that she's going to pour coffee in every cup in the district, the story goes on to include some quotes from their headliners. So in terms of a public relations event, their fundraiser was a disaster. They got counter-protested. They didn't get to have the whole limelight community voices were included in opposition to them. And they had to go on the defensive for 5 whole sentences in this story to defend why Virginia Foxx didn't even show up. So it's not looking very good for her, y'all. It's not. I mean, I'll be very thankful though if she comes and pours me a cup of coffee. That would be lovely and very nice and very appreciated. And I'll have a simple conversation. It'll be very polite and, I'll be very respectful like I always am. The second piece of news I wanted to share about Representative Foxx is, unfortunately, she didn't take advantage of reading the handwriting on the wall. It's because there was a congressional election in Arizona and the Democrat won handily. And that Democrat who took her father's seat, and she overperformed by a wide margin, by the way, she has promised to sign the discharge petition to release the Epstein files. Well, Virginia Foxx could have seen that reality coming and that the 218th signature was coming. She could have kept her campaign promise and the Republican campaign promise to release the Epstein files and do her part to keep her promise, but she didn't. Nope. So now we just have to wait for this representative to get sworn into Congress. First thing she's probably going to do is sign that discharge petition. And then we'll have enough votes. And let me just state for the record, the only 4 Republicans who are keeping the campaign promise to release the Epstein files are Representative Massey, Mace, Green, and Boebert. Only 4. Representative Foxx is not. So we'll see what happens when the 218th signature drops on the discharge petition. I imagine Representative Foxx, along with the Speaker of the House and the Republican leadership, will get together with their Führer, Donald Trump, and they'll figure out a way to avoid taking a vote. They will cheat somehow, bend the rules, manipulate the rules, cut some deal to do all they can to avoid keeping the campaign promise to release the Epstein files. So one of the things we got to keep doing, is something that the great Angela Davis said, right? I don't know if y'all are familiar with this quote by Angela Davis. I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept. So one of the things I can't accept and the Indivisible can't accept is watching us trend towards an authoritarian, fascist, Christian nationalist dictatorship. And so we have to get loud. We have to come together. The thing about our protest at App State is it had music. It was loud. It had chants. It was upbeat. And people got to connect with their own community members who felt like they did, who feel like Angela Davis, that they can no longer accept the things we can't change, and we're gonna change the things we cannot accept. We can't accept America becoming a fascist authoritarian state. Just not acceptable. Having representatives who won't even speak to you, won't meet with you, won't even show up for our own party events, that's not acceptable. And so we're gonna work to change it. I hope you'll join us. We've got some exciting announcements coming up about some future activities. They're going to be fabulous and fun and full of joy and full of community. We hope to see you there. Thanks. Bye.